Hello, friend. Welcome to Science for Sleep. Some tiredness comes from effort, and some tiredness comes from exposure. There are people who reach the end of a day and feel worn down, even if nothing physically demanding happened. The hours may have been full of conversation, noise, light, movement, and constant awareness. And yet the body feels heavier than expected, as if something unseen has slowly drained away. If that experience feels familiar, you're not alone. Many people move through the world quietly noticing how certain environments affect them. Busy rooms, extended social time, long stretches of stimulation, not overwhelming in the moment, but accumulating slowly. By evening, the body asks for quiet, and the mind feels ready to withdraw. This isn't weakness, and it isn't mood. It's physiology. Human nervous systems vary in how they process stimulation. Some systems remain comfortable in high-input environments for long periods of time. Others work harder to filter sound, light, and social information. That extra processing effort draws from the same biological resources used for attention, regulation, and recovery. By nightfall, those resources are meant to be replenished. Sleep is one of the primary ways the body restores balance. Hormones shift. Neural activity reorganizes. The nervous system moves away from vigilance and toward repair. And for some people, that transition into rest feels deeply tied to how much stimulation the day contained. This leads to a quiet question many carry without ever saying out loud. Do people who need less stimulation sleep better? Not because they are calmer by choice, or more disciplined, or more reflective, but because their systems may be wired to seek lower input in order to return to balance. Personality science has explored this question for decades. Introversion, in research terms, isn't about shyness or social preference. It's about baseline arousal levels in the brain. Studies have found that introverted individuals often show higher baseline cortical activation, meaning their brains may respond more strongly to incoming information. In simple terms, the volume is already turned up. This doesn't make one type better than another. It simply changes how energy is spent throughout the day and how recovery unfolds at night. If you enjoy these quiet journeys, you're welcome to subscribe. And if it feels natural, to leave a comment sharing where you're listening from tonight. It helps others find their way to this calm corner of the world, one sleepy traveler at a time. The quiet continues here, just as it is. As the evening settles, stimulation naturally begins to fade. Light softens. Sound decreases. The body receives fewer signals demanding response. This reduction in input allows the nervous system to shift toward parasympathetic activity, the state associated with rest, digestion, and repair. For some, that shift happens easily. For others, it requires distance from noise, conversation, and novelty. Tonight, we're going to explore whether introverted nervous systems experience sleep differently, not as a personality label, but as a biological pattern. We'll look at how stimulation, energy regulation, and recovery interact, and whether certain systems are more naturally aligned with the conditions that support deep rest. There's nothing to fix here, nothing to optimize, only something to understand. I'm glad you're here. Introversion is often spoken about as a preference for quiet, a preference for solitude, a preference for smaller groups. But in scientific terms, introversion is not defined by what someone likes. It is defined by how the nervous system responds to stimulation. Personality research, especially work rooted in psychophysiology, describes introversion and extroversion as differences in baseline arousal. This refers to how active the brain and nervous system are when a person is at rest. Some systems begin the day closer to a heightened state of alertness. Others begin closer to neutral and seek stimulation to reach an optimal level of engagement. Neither state is wrong. They are simply different starting points. Research using electroencephalography and blood flow measurements has shown that introverted individuals often display higher baseline cortical activity. This means that even in quiet conditions, the brain may already be processing at a relatively high level. Incoming sounds, lights, conversations, and visual detail are registered more strongly, not emotionally, but neurologically. This helps explain why environments that feel neutral to one person can feel draining to another. When stimulation enters the system, it must be filtered, categorized, and integrated. That process uses glucose, oxygen, and neurotransmitters. Over time, sustained processing leads to fatigue, even if the day did not involve physical labor or emotional strain. The mind does not distinguish between effort that is visible and effort that is internal. From a biological perspective, introversion is not about avoidance. It is about efficiency. Systems with higher baseline arousal require less external input to stay engaged. Additional stimulation pushes them closer to overload rather than balance. This is why quiet can feel restorative instead of empty. It is also why extended exposure to noise, conversation, and novelty can delay the body's natural shift toward rest. The nervous system remains active, scanning, responding, and organizing information longer into the evening. Sleep, however, requires a different state. As night approaches, the brain begins reducing sensory intake. Visual processing simplifies in lower light. Auditory vigilance softens as sound decreases. The sympathetic nervous system, responsible for alertness and response, gradually yields to parasympathetic dominance. For systems that have spent the day processing intensely, this shift may feel especially welcome. Importantly, introversion does not mean constant calm. Higher baseline arousal does not equal lower stress. In fact, studies have shown that introverted individuals can experience stress more quickly in stimulating environments, even when they appear composed externally. The body may be working harder than it looks. Understanding this reframes the question of sleep entirely. It is not about who is better at resting. It is about how much regulation the nervous system must complete before rest can occur. Some systems arrive at evening already close to balance. Others need space, quiet, and reduced input to return there. This difference shapes how easily sleep begins, how deeply it settles, and how restored the body feels by morning. And it all starts long before the head reaches the pillow. Sleep does not begin when the lights turn off. It begins earlier, quietly, in the body's systems. Long before the eyes close, signals start to shift. Hormones adjust their timing. Neural activity changes its rhythm. The nervous system prepares to move from response into recovery. This transition is not sudden. It unfolds gradually, often without awareness. One of the first systems involved is the circadian timing system. This internal clock responds primarily to light. As daylight fades, specialized cells in the retina reduce their signaling to the brain's central clock in the hypothalamus. This change allows melatonin production to begin increasing. Melatonin is not a sedative. It does not force sleep. Instead, it acts like a signal flag, telling the body that night has arrived and that restorative processes can begin. At the same time, body temperature begins to drop slightly. Core temperature decreases by a small fraction of a degree. This cooling effect supports sleep onset by reducing metabolic demand. These changes are subtle, but they matter. Another important shift occurs in the nervous system itself. During the day, the sympathetic branch dominates. This is the system responsible for alertness, reaction, and engagement with the environment. As evening approaches, parasympathetic activity gradually increases. Heart rate slows. Breathing becomes more regular. Muscle tone softens. This shift is essential for sleep to emerge naturally. However, the timing of this transition is influenced by stimulation. Light, sound, movement, and novelty all send signals of relevance to the brain. When stimulation remains high late into the evening, the nervous system delays its downshifting. Cortisol levels remain elevated longer. Melatonin release may be postponed. The body stays in a state of readiness instead of repair. This is not a failure of discipline. It is a biological response. Sleep pressure also plays a role. As the day progresses, adenosine accumulates in the brain. Adenosine is a byproduct of cellular activity. The longer the brain remains active, the more adenosine builds up. This buildup contributes to the feeling of sleepiness. During sleep, adenosine levels decrease, allowing alertness to return by morning. Importantly, mental processing contributes to this accumulation, just as physical activity does. Continuous attention, sensory filtering, and information integration all increase neural workload. The brain does not differentiate between types of effort when accounting for energy use. For individuals whose systems process stimulation more intensely, adenosine accumulation may occur alongside sustained alertness. The body feels tired, but the nervous system remains active. This creates a familiar tension. Fatigue without ease. Sleep requires both pressure and permission. Pressure comes from adenosine. Permission comes from reduced vigilance. If the environment continues to signal relevance, permission is delayed. This is where differences in sensory processing become meaningful. When the brain registers incoming information more strongly, it maintains a higher level of monitoring. Even neutral stimuli can be treated as noteworthy. Sound is evaluated. Movement is tracked. Light is processed in detail. All of this keeps the system engaged. As stimulation fades, the brain slowly releases its grip. Processing becomes simpler. Fewer inputs compete for attention. Visual detail reduces in low light. Auditory systems become less vigilant in quieter spaces. The cortex shifts towards slower rhythms associated with rest. These changes are measurable. Electroencephalography shows a gradual increase in alpha and theta wave activity as sleep approaches. These rhythms reflect reduced sensory intake and increased internal coordination. Sleep, then, is not a single event. It is a cascade of biological adjustments. For some systems, This cascade begins earlier and unfolds smoothly. For others, it requires more distance from stimulation to fully engage. Neither pattern is abnormal. Understanding how sleep begins in the body helps explain why evenings feel different to different people, why some unwind easily in busy environments, and why others need quiet for the same process to occur. The body always knows how to sleep. It simply waits for the conditions that allow it to let go. Wakefulness is not sustained by effort alone. It is sustained by input. From the moment the eyes open in the morning, the brain is receiving information. Light enters the visual system. Sound reaches the auditory pathways. Movement activates balance and coordination networks. Conversation, novelty, and change continuously signal relevance. These inputs work together to maintain alertness. At a biological level, stimulation activates the reticular activating system, a network in the brainstem that regulates wakefulness and attention. This system does not judge whether stimulation is pleasant or unpleasant. It responds simply to presence. Light increases alertness by activating retinal cells that project directly to arousal centers in the brain. Sound sharpens attention by triggering orienting responses. Movement raises heart rate and blood flow. Novelty increases dopamine release, reinforcing engagement. All of this keeps the nervous system online. During the day, this is useful. It allows the body to respond, adapt, and interact with the environment. But wakefulness is meant to fluctuate, not remain constant. As evening approaches, the nervous system expects stimulation to decrease. This expectation is built into circadian biology. Lower light levels reduce visual complexity. Fewer sounds decrease auditory vigilance. Stillness signals safety. When these conditions are met, arousal systems gradually quiet. However, modern environments often do the opposite. Artificial lighting extends brightness. Screens introduce constant motion and contrast. Conversations continue late into the evening. Information flows without pause. The brain responds accordingly. Stimulation does not simply keep the mind busy. It keeps the body prepared. Heart rate variability decreases. Muscle tone remains slightly elevated. Stress hormones linger longer into the night. This response is automatic. The nervous system evolved to treat stimulation as meaningful. Importantly, not all stimulation has equal impact. Intensity, duration, and unpredictability matter. Sudden sounds activate alerting reflexes more strongly than steady noise. Bright, blue-toned light suppresses melatonin more than warm, dim light. Rapid changes on screens require constant visual recalibration. And social stimulation adds another layer. Conversation requires attention, memory, interpretation, and response. Even pleasant interaction engages multiple cognitive systems simultaneously. The brain tracks tone, facial expression, meaning, and timing. This processing consumes energy. For individuals whose systems register stimulation more strongly, this load accumulates faster. The reticular activating system remains engaged longer. Downshifting is delayed. The body may feel tired, but alertness persists. This helps explain why some people feel most awake at night. Not because their bodies prefer darkness, but because stimulation finally begins to drop. As noise fades and movement slows, the nervous system receives permission to relax. alerting systems quiet. Internal rhythms reassert themselves. Stimulation is not the enemy of sleep. It is simply the lever that controls timing. Sleep emerges when stimulation falls below a certain threshold. That threshold varies between individuals. Some systems tolerate higher input without remaining activated. Others require quieter conditions to disengage. This difference is not conscious. It is embedded in neural sensitivity. Understanding the role of stimulation reframes nighttime rest. It shifts the question away from willpower and toward environment, away from personality traits and toward biological response. Wakefulness is maintained by what the body receives. Rest begins when those signals soften. As the evening continues, the nervous system listens closely. It waits for fewer demands, fewer changes, less to process. When stimulation finally quiets, wakefulness loosens its hold, and the body prepares to move, naturally and gently, towards sleep. Not every nervous system receives the same world in the same way. The environment may be shared, but perception is individual. Sensory processing refers to how the brain receives, filters, and interprets incoming information from the senses. Light, sound, movement, texture, and spatial detail all enter the system constantly. What differs is how strongly those signals are registered and how much effort is required to organize them. Research in neuroscience and psychology has shown that individuals vary in sensory sensitivity. Some nervous systems respond to stimulation with relatively small changes in neural activity. Others show larger responses to the same input. This difference begins at early stages of processing. Studies using functional imaging and electrophysiology have found that introverted individuals often exhibit stronger cortical responses to sensory stimuli. In simple terms, the brain reacts more noticeably to what it receives. This does not mean distress. It means depth. Sound is processed more thoroughly. Visual detail is registered more precisely. Subtle changes are noticed rather than ignored. This heightened responsiveness can be an advantage in quiet or low input environments. It supports focus, reflection, and detailed observation. But it also means that busy environments require more regulation. Every sound must be evaluated. Every movement must be integrated. Every conversation adds layers of meaning to process. The sensory systems do not shut off simply because stimulation is familiar. They continue to relay information as long as input persists. The brain's filtering mechanisms play a crucial role here. Thalamic gating helps determine which sensory signals reach conscious processing. In systems with higher sensitivity, this gating may be less restrictive, allowing more information through. More information means more work. This work is largely invisible. From the outside, a person may appear calm, attentive, and composed. Internally, the nervous system is active, coordinating, and managing continuous input. Over time, this effort accumulates. Energy is spent maintaining organization and balance. Neurotransmitters are released and recycled. Metabolic resources are consumed. This is not stress in the emotional sense. It is load in the physiological sense. As the day continues, the cumulative effect of sensory processing becomes more noticeable. The body begins to seek conditions that reduce input. Quiet feels relieving. stillness feels grounding. This shift is often mistaken for mood or preference. In reality, it reflects a biological need for regulation. When sensory input decreases, the nervous system can simplify its activity. Fewer signals compete for attention. Neural firing patterns become more synchronized. The brain conserves energy rather than expending it. This state supports the transition toward rest. Sleep requires a reduction in sensory engagement. Visual processing diminishes in darkness. Auditory vigilance softens in quiet. The sense of movement settles when the body becomes still. For individuals with heightened sensory processing, these reductions are especially important. They allow the system to disengage from constant evaluation. Without this disengagement, the brain remains partially alert even when tired. The body rests, but vigilance lingers. This explains why some people feel most comfortable late at night. Not because night itself is preferred, but because stimulation finally recedes. The world becomes simpler. Fewer sounds, less motion, reduced visual complexity. The nervous system responds by loosening its grip. Sensory sensitivity is not a disorder. It is a trait that exists on a spectrum. All systems benefit from periods of reduced input. Some simply require it more urgently. Understanding these differences helps clarify the connection between personality and sleep. It shifts the focus away from labels and toward processing style. Sleep does not improve because someone is introverted. It improves when the nervous system is given the conditions it needs to disengage. For some, those conditions arrive easily. For others, they must be created intentionally. As stimulation continues to fade into the background, the body listens. It responds to the absence of demand. And in that absence, rest becomes possible. Not every day leaves the body feeling the same. 2 days may look identical on the calendar, yet one ends with ease, while the other ends in exhaustion. The difference is not always what happened. It is how much the nervous system had to process. Drain is not caused only by effort. It is caused by demand. Throughout the day, the brain constantly evaluates information. It monitors sound levels, visual detail, movement, and social signals. It determines what is relevant, what can be ignored, and what requires response. This evaluation happens automatically. The conscious mind is not involved in most of it. When environments are predictable and calm, processing remains efficient. When environments are busy, noisy, or constantly changing, processing load increases. This load draws from finite biological resources. Neural activity requires energy. Every action potential consumes glucose and oxygen. Neurotransmitters must be synthesized, released, and reabsorbed. Over time, this metabolic cost adds up. On days filled with frequent transitions, unexpected interactions, or sustained stimulation, the nervous system remains engaged for longer periods. Even if nothing difficult occurs, the system does not get a chance to downshift. This creates a specific kind of fatigue. The body may feel heavy. Attention may feel slower. The desire for quiet becomes stronger. Importantly, this fatigue is not proportional to visible activity. A day spent in conversation can be more draining than a day spent moving. A day in a busy environment can be more tiring than a physically demanding task. This is because sensory and cognitive processing occur continuously, without rest breaks. Research has shown that mental workload increases cortisol release, even in the absence of emotional stress. Cortisol helps maintain alertness and mobilize energy, but prolonged elevation interferes with recovery. When cortisol remains elevated into the evening, the nervous system has difficulty transitioning into rest. Melatonin release may be delayed. Heart rate remains slightly elevated. The body stays prepared instead of repairing. Some nervous systems are more sensitive to this effect. Individuals with higher baseline arousal tend to reach processing saturation sooner. Their systems work closer to capacity during the day. Additional demand pushes them toward depletion faster. This does not mean they are less capable. It means their systems are efficient but intensive. As evening approaches, the body attempts to recalibrate. It seeks conditions that reduce demand. Fewer sounds, less movement, reduced social input. When those conditions are met, recovery begins. When they are not, fatigue persists without relief. This explains why some days require more solitude to feel complete. The nervous system is not avoiding connection. It is seeking restoration. Sleep plays a central role in this process. During sleep, metabolic byproducts are cleared from the brain. The glymphatic system increases its activity, flushing waste that accumulates during waking hours. Neural connections reorganize. Stress chemistry normalizes. But sleep quality depends on how prepared the system is to let go. If the day ends with high stimulation, recovery is delayed. The body is tired, but alertness remains. If the day allows gradual reduction in demand, sleep arrives more easily. This pattern repeats over time. Some days leave the body settled by evening. Others require intentional quiet to reach the same state. Understanding why days feel different removes judgment from fatigue. It replaces blame with explanation. Tiredness is not a failure. It is feedback. The nervous system communicates its limits through sensation. Listening to that signal allows rest to follow naturally. As the night deepens, the body continues its slow recalibration. Demand decreases. Processing slows. When enough space is created, the system releases its hold, and in that release, sleep becomes possible. As the day begins to loosen its grip, the body looks for signs that it is safe to slow down. This process is not deliberate. It happens automatically, guided by changes in the environment. Evening quiet is one of the strongest signals the nervous system recognizes. When sound levels decrease, auditory vigilance softens. The brain no longer needs to monitor constantly for change. This reduces activity in alerting networks that remain active during the day. Light also plays a role. As brightness fades, visual processing becomes simpler. Fewer details are detected. Contrast softens. The eyes relay less stimulating information to the brain. Together, these changes signal that demand is lowering. Inside the body, the autonomic nervous system responds. Sympathetic activity, which supports alertness and readiness, begins to decline. Parasympathetic activity increases, supporting rest, digestion, and recovery. Heart rate slows slightly. Breathing becomes more regular. Muscle tone decreases. These shifts are subtle but measurable. Research has shown that quiet environments increase heart rate variability, a marker of parasympathetic dominance. Higher heart rate variability is associated with better stress regulation and improved sleep quality. Quiet does not mean silence. It means predictability. Steady, low-level sounds are easier for the nervous system to process than sudden or complex noise. Consistent environments allow the brain to stop scanning for change. For some nervous systems, this transition happens easily. They downshift even when stimulation remains moderate. For others, stronger reductions in input are required. This difference becomes most noticeable in the evening. After a day of sustained processing, systems with higher sensitivity respond more strongly to lingering stimulation. Conversation continues to engage attention. Movement keeps alerting systems active. Bright light delays biological night. The body remains ready. Evening quiet gives the nervous system permission to disengage. It creates a space where fewer decisions are required. Fewer signals need interpretation. Fewer responses are expected. This reduction allows internal processes to take priority. Neural rhythms begin to slow. Alpha activity increases, reflecting reduced sensory intake. Theta rhythms begin to appear, associated with drowsiness and internal focus. These changes mark the beginning of rest, even before sleep occurs. Importantly, evening quiet is not about isolation. It is about load. A calm environment reduces the amount of information the nervous system must organize. This allows energy to be conserved rather than spent. For individuals who process stimulation deeply, this conservation is essential. Without it, the nervous system remains partially activated even as the body grows tired. This mismatch creates restlessness. Quiet resolves that mismatch. It aligns the body's fatigue with the nervous system's readiness to rest. This is why late evenings often feel more peaceful. Not because night itself is special, but because stimulation naturally decreases. Fewer messages arrive, fewer movements occur. The world simplifies. The nervous system responds by releasing vigilance. Sleep does not require effort. It requires conditions. Evening quiet provides those conditions by reducing demand. As the environment settles, internal systems follow. Alertness softens, recovery begins. The body recognizes the absence of urgency, and in that absence, rest finds its way forward. Fatigue does not always come from movement. Sometimes it comes from connection. Social interaction engages the body in ways that are not immediately visible. Conversation requires attention, timing, memory, and interpretation. The nervous system listens closely to tone, expression, and subtle shifts in meaning. Even when interaction is pleasant, the system remains active. This activity is not emotional strain. It is coordination. During conversation, multiple brain regions work together. Auditory systems decode sound. Visual systems track faces and movement. Language networks organize meaning. Motor systems prepare responses. All of this happens in real time. The body treats social interaction as dynamic input. It requires readiness and adaptability. This keeps alerting systems engaged. Physical fatigue, by contrast, follows a different pathway. Muscles work. Energy is spent. Byproducts accumulate. When movement stops, recovery begins quickly. Social energy does not resolve as immediately. After extended interaction, the nervous system may remain activated even in stillness. The body rests, but alertness lingers. This is why someone can feel exhausted after a long day of conversation without having moved much at all. The energy cost occurred internally. Research in psychophysiology has shown that social engagement increases sympathetic nervous system activity. Heart rate rises slightly. Cortisol may increase. Attention networks remain online. These changes support responsiveness, but they delay rest. For individuals whose systems process information deeply, social interaction adds a layered load. Not only is information received, it is analyzed in detail. Subtle cues are registered rather than filtered out. This depth of processing is not a flaw. It supports empathy, nuance, and thoughtful response. But it comes at a cost. Over time, sustained social engagement draws from the same reserves needed for regulation and recovery. By evening, those reserves may be low. The body signals this need through sensation. Heaviness, desire for quiet, reduced tolerance for noise. This is often misunderstood. Social fatigue is sometimes labeled as withdrawal or disinterest. In reality, it reflects a biological need to reduce input. The nervous system seeks simplicity. When social stimulation decreases, alerting systems begin to disengage. The brain no longer needs to monitor constantly for response cues. Internal rhythms reassert themselves. This shift supports sleep readiness. Importantly, social energy and physical energy are not interchangeable. A long walk may promote sleep by increasing adenosine and reducing stress. A long conversation may delay sleep by sustaining alertness. Both involve energy, but they affect timing differently. This distinction helps explain why evenings unfold differently for different people. Some unwind through conversation. Others require quiet to feel complete. Neither approach is superior. What matters is whether the nervous system is given space to downshift before rest. Sleep emerges when alertness is no longer needed. For some, that point arrives easily even after social engagement. For others, it requires intentional reduction in interaction. Understanding this difference removes judgment from preference. Needing quiet is not avoidance. It is regulation. As the evening continues, the body listens closely to cues of demand. When those cues fade, internal systems respond. Heart rate slows. Breathing deepens. Neural activity simplifies. The system releases its readiness. In that release, fatigue transforms from tension into ease. And when social energy has been allowed to settle, the body is free to move naturally towards sleep. Tiredness does not always lead directly to sleep. Sometimes it leads to waiting. The body feels heavy, energy is low, and yet rest does not arrive. This delay often has less to do with motivation and more to do with stimulation. Overstimulation occurs when the nervous system continues receiving signals that require attention, even after the body has begun to fatigue. These signals do not need to be intense to have an effect. They only need to persist. Light is one of the most powerful contributors. Bright environments signal daytime to the brain, regardless of the hour. Specialized retinal cells respond to light by suppressing melatonin release. When melatonin is delayed, the biological night is postponed. Sound has a similar effect. Sudden or complex noise keeps auditory systems alert. Even low-volume sounds that change frequently can prevent full disengagement. Movement and visual motion also matter. Rapid changes on screens require constant recalibration of visual attention. The eyes track movement. The brain interprets contrast, color, and speed. All of this maintains wakefulness. Overstimulation is not a single event. It is cumulative. Each additional signal adds to the processing load. Each moment of relevance keeps alerting systems engaged. For individuals whose nervous systems are highly responsive, this accumulation happens quickly. The threshold for disengagement is reached sooner. Additional input pushes the system back toward alertness rather than toward rest. This creates a familiar experience. The body wants to sleep. The nervous system does not yet have permission. Cortisol plays a role here. While often associated with stress, cortisol also supports attention and energy availability. When stimulation remains high, cortisol levels remain elevated longer into the evening. Elevated cortisol interferes with sleep initiation. It increases heart rate. It maintains muscle tone. It keeps the body prepared for action. This preparation is useful during the day. At night, it delays rest. Another factor is dopamine. Novelty, conversation, and screen-based activity increase dopamine signaling. Dopamine reinforces engagement and curiosity. When dopamine remains active late into the evening, the brain stays oriented toward input rather than withdrawal. Sleep requires a shift away from novelty. As overstimulation continues, the nervous system adapts by staying vigilant. Even when activity stops, alertness does not immediately fade. This is why lying down does not guarantee sleep. The system must first release its readiness. For some, this release happens quickly once stimulation ends. For others, especially those with deeper processing styles, it takes time. The nervous system needs proof that demand has truly ended. Quiet provides that proof. Stillness reduces movement signals. Dim light simplifies visual input. Predictable sound reduces auditory scanning. As these changes accumulate, alerting systems begin to stand down. Neural firing patterns slow. The brain shifts from fast, reactive rhythms to slower, integrative ones. This transition cannot be rushed. Overstimulation delays sleep, not because the body resists rest, but because the environment continues to suggest relevance. Once relevance fades, sleep follows naturally. Understanding this reframes the experience of delayed sleep. It removes blame from the individual. Rest does not fail. It waits. As stimulation finally diminishes, the nervous system recognizes the absence of demand. Preparation gives way to repair. And in that quiet space, sleep is able to arrive on its own. Solitude is often described as a preference, a choice, a personality trait. But at the level of the nervous system, solitude functions as something more fundamental. It acts as a reset. When external input decreases, internal systems are given space to recalibrate. Fewer signals arrive. Fewer responses are required. The body no longer needs to remain outwardly oriented. This shift has measurable biological effects. In quiet, solitary conditions, sympathetic nervous system activity decreases. Heart rate lowers. Blood pressure softens. Stress-related hormone release begins to taper. At the same time, parasympathetic activity increases. This branch of the nervous system supports digestion, immune function, and recovery. It is the state the body relies on to repair itself. Solitude encourages this transition by reducing demand. Without conversation, the brain no longer tracks timing, tone, or response. Without visual complexity, fewer details need interpretation. Without novelty, dopamine signaling quiets. The nervous system receives a clear message. Nothing is required right now. For individuals who process stimulation deeply, this message is especially important. Their systems often remain engaged longer after interaction ends. Solitude provides the signal needed to disengage fully. This disengagement is not emotional withdrawal. It is physiological regulation. Research has shown that periods of reduced stimulation improve cognitive recovery and emotional regulation. Brain imaging studies indicate decreased activity in attention and monitoring networks during solitude. This allows internal processes to reorganize. Energy that was spent outwardly can now be conserved. Solitude also affects time perception. Without constant input, the sense of urgency diminishes. Moments stretch. The body moves at its own pace. This slower rhythm aligns with sleep readiness. Importantly, solitude does not mean isolation. It does not imply disconnection or avoidance. It simply means fewer signals. For some nervous systems, this reduction is optional. For others, it is necessary. When solitude is delayed, regulation is delayed. The body remains partially alert even in stillness. Sleep onset takes longer. When solitude is allowed, downshifting occurs naturally. This is why many people feel restored after quiet evenings alone. Not because of personality satisfaction, but because biological systems were able to reset. The brain does not crave solitude for meaning. It uses solitude for balance. Sleep depends on this balance. Before rest can occur, alertness must dissolve. Solitude accelerates that process by removing what keeps alertness active. As stimulation falls away, internal rhythms take over. Breathing slows, muscle tension releases, neural activity simplifies. The system moves from engagement to restoration. This transition does not require effort, it requires space. Understanding solitude as a biological reset reframes how evenings are structured. It removes guilt from quiet needs. It replaces preference with physiology. Some systems recover in company. Others recover in quiet. Both are valid. What matters is whether the nervous system is given what it needs to disengage. As the night deepens, solitude continues its quiet work. Demand fades. Processing slows. And in that absence of requirement, the body naturally finds its way towards sleep. The nervous system pays close attention to patterns. It learns what comes next. It prepares in advance. Routine is one of the ways this preparation becomes visible. When the same events happen in a similar order each evening, the body begins to anticipate rest. This anticipation is not conscious. It unfolds quietly through repeated exposure. Light dims at a familiar time. Movement slows in familiar ways. Sound levels change predictably. These signals allow the nervous system to reduce uncertainty. Uncertainty keeps alertness active. Predictability allows it to fade. From a biological perspective, routine reduces the amount of information that must be evaluated. The brain does not need to decide what is happening. It already knows. This reduces cognitive load. Studies in sleep science show that consistent routines support circadian alignment. When behaviors occur at regular times, the body's internal clock becomes more stable. Melatonin release becomes more predictable. Sleep onset becomes smoother. Irregular schedules disrupt this process. When evenings vary widely in activity, light exposure, and stimulation, the nervous system remains cautious. It delays downshifting until conditions are clear. For some systems, this delay is minimal. For others, it is significant. Individuals who process stimulation deeply tend to benefit strongly from predictability. Their systems already manage a high volume of information during the day. Routine reduces additional demand. Predictability does not require rigidity. It requires familiarity. A repeated sequence of events signals safety. The nervous system recognizes that nothing unexpected is coming. This recognition allows vigilance to loosen. Sleep stability emerges from this loosening. Research has shown that irregular sleep schedules are associated with lighter sleep, increased awakenings, and reduced slow-wave activity. Regular timing supports deeper, more restorative sleep stages. The body thrives on rhythm. Routine also affects stress chemistry. Predictable evenings are associated with lower evening cortisol levels. Lower cortisol supports parasympathetic dominance and sleep readiness. When routines are absent, cortisol may remain elevated longer. The system stays prepared. This preparation is subtle. It may not feel like stress. It may feel like restlessness. Routine resolves that restlessness by answering an unspoken question. Is anything else required? When the answer is consistently no, the nervous system relaxes. Importantly, routine does not mean early bedtime. It means consistency. Some systems wind down earlier, others later. What matters is repetition. For individuals who benefit from solitude and reduced stimulation, routine creates space for those conditions to emerge naturally. Quiet becomes expected rather than forced. The brain no longer resists stillness. It recognizes it as part of the pattern. This recognition supports faster transitions into sleep. Routine also reduces decision-making. Fewer choices are made in the evening. Fewer evaluations occur. Decision fatigue decreases. The mind is spared unnecessary effort. Over time, this conservation compounds. Sleep becomes more stable. Nighttime awakenings decrease. Morning recovery improves. Not because the body was controlled, but because it was supported. Routine works quietly. It does not demand attention. It shapes expectation. For nervous systems that respond strongly to stimulation, this shaping is invaluable. It creates an internal environment where rest is not negotiated. It is anticipated. As evening unfolds in familiar ways, alertness releases its hold. The system recognizes the sequence. Nothing new is coming. Nothing is required. In that recognition, the body settles, and with enough repetition, sleep no longer feels uncertain. It arrives as the natural next step in a well-known rhythm. Not all hours of the day are processed the same way by the body. Even when activity looks similar, timing changes its effect. Late evenings carry a different biological weight. As night approaches, the nervous system expects a gradual reduction in stimulation. This expectation is built into circadian regulation. Hormone release, temperature shifts, and neural rhythms goals all prepare for rest. When stimulation continues late, it interferes with this preparation. Light exposure is one of the most influential factors. In the evening, the brain becomes more sensitive to light, especially bright and blue sources. The same light that feels harmless during the day can strongly suppress melatonin at night. This suppression delays the biological signal for sleep. Sound and activity also take on greater impact. Late in the day, the nervous system is already fatigued from processing. Additional input requires more effort to manage. Conversation remains engaging longer. Movement feels more activating. Novelty feels sharper. This heightened sensitivity is not psychological. It is physiological. Research shows that circadian phase affects how stimuli are processed. In the evening, alerting systems respond more strongly to stimulation relative to the body's readiness for rest. The same input produces a larger effect. This creates a mismatch. The body wants to downshift. The environment keeps it engaged. Late evenings often include activities that reinforce alertness. Screens display rapid motion and contrast. Social interaction continues. Information flows without pause. Each of these signals relevance. Dopamine release remains active. Attention networks stay online. The nervous system delays disengagement. For individuals who process stimulation deeply, this effect is amplified. Their systems are already near capacity by evening. Additional input pushes them past their optimal threshold. The result is delayed sleep onset. The body feels tired, but readiness remains. This delay can create frustration. Lying down does not bring immediate rest. The nervous system needs time to release its engagement. Late evenings also affect temperature regulation. Sleep onset is supported by a slight drop in core body temperature. Activity and light exposure delay this cooling process. The body stays warmer longer. Metabolic rate remains elevated. This further postpones sleep readiness. Importantly, this does not mean evenings must be empty. It means timing matters. The same activities have different effects depending on when they occur. Earlier in the evening, stimulation may be tolerated. Later, it becomes disruptive. Understanding this helps explain why sleep difficulties often appear suddenly. Not because something is wrong, but because timing has shifted. A schedule that once worked may no longer align with the body's signals. For nervous systems sensitive to stimulation, this misalignment is felt quickly. The solution is not force. It is alignment. Reducing stimulation as the night progresses allows biological rhythms to unfold as intended. Light softens. Activity slows. Input becomes predictable. The nervous system receives confirmation that demand has ended. This confirmation is essential. Sleep is not commanded. It is permitted. Late evenings delay that permission when stimulation remains high. As stimulation decreases, alerting systems stand down. Hormonal shifts resume. Neural rhythms slow. The body moves back into sync with night. Understanding why late evenings affect sleep differently removes blame. It reframes difficulty as timing rather than failure. Rest is always available. It simply arrives when conditions allow. As the evening continues, the body waits for fewer signals. When they finally fade, readiness dissolves. And in that quiet alignment, sleep is free to begin. The body does not experience time in the same way for everyone. Some systems naturally feel alert early, others find clarity later. This variation is known as chronotype. Chronotype refers to the timing of the body's internal rhythms. It influences when energy peaks, when focus feels easiest, and when sleep arrives naturally. These rhythms are shaped by genetics, light exposure, and long-term habit. They are not chosen. Research in sleep science identifies a spectrum of chronotypes. Morning-oriented systems tend to wake easily and feel alert earlier in the day. Evening-oriented systems feel more awake later and take longer to wind down. Most people fall somewhere in between. Chronotype is regulated by the circadian system. The brain's central clock coordinates hormonal release, temperature changes, and neural activity across the day. This clock is synchronized primarily by light. Genetic differences influence how sensitive the clock is to environmental cues. Some systems shift easily. Others remain fixed. Personality traits often show loose correlations with chronotype. Studies have found that introversion is more commonly associated with morning orientation, while extroversion appears more frequently among evening-oriented individuals. These associations are not rules. They are tendencies. They suggest that systems with higher baseline arousal may feel comfortable with earlier quiet, while systems that seek stimulation may tolerate later engagement. However, overlap is common. An introverted system can be evening-oriented. An extroverted system can be morning-oriented. What matters is alignment. When daily schedules align with chronotype, sleep quality improves. Sleep onset becomes easier. Recovery deepens. When schedules conflict with chronotype, the nervous system resists. This resistance is not willful. It reflects biological timing. For individuals whose systems process stimulation deeply, chronotype interacts with sensory sensitivity. An evening-oriented system may still require reduced input to downshift. A morning-oriented system may benefit from early quiet. Chronotype does not override processing style. It shapes when downshifting feels most natural. Research shows that forcing sleep outside of chronotype reduces sleep efficiency. Time spent in bed increases, but restorative sleep decreases. This is because the circadian system has not yet signaled readiness. Understanding chronotype reframes the question of sleep timing. It shifts focus away from ideal schedules and toward individual rhythms. Sleep improves when the body's timing is respected. Chronotype also affects how stimulation is experienced late in the day. Evening-oriented systems may tolerate later input without immediate disruption. Morning-oriented systems may experience overstimulation sooner. For sensitive nervous systems, this difference becomes noticeable. The same evening environment feels manageable to one system and overwhelming to another. This does not reflect discipline or motivation. It reflects biology. Chronotype awareness allows adjustments that support rest. Earlier dimming of light, later engagement when appropriate, reduced pressure to conform. Sleep does not require uniform timing. It requires coherence. When schedules align with internal rhythms, alertness and rest occur in their natural sequence. The body stops negotiating. As night unfolds, Chronotype determines when the system is ready to release wakefulness. When that moment arrives, sleep follows with ease. Understanding this removes unnecessary comparison. There is no universal bedtime. There is only the moment when the nervous system recognizes night. And when that recognition is honored, rest arrives without struggle. The question sounds simple. Do introverts fall asleep faster? But sleep speed is not a single mechanism. It is the result of several systems aligning at the same time. Sleep onset depends on pressure, timing, and release. Pressure comes from accumulated wakefulness. Timing comes from circadian signals. Release comes from reduced vigilance. If any one of these remains active, sleep waits. Research that compares sleep onset between personality types does not produce a single answer. Some studies suggest introverted individuals report falling asleep more easily. Others show no consistent difference at all. This inconsistency matters. It suggests that introversion itself is not a switch that turns sleep on or off. Instead, it shapes the conditions under which sleep becomes possible. One factor is baseline arousal. Systems with higher baseline cortical activation often reach cognitive and sensory saturation earlier in the day. By evening, sleep pressure may already be high. The body is ready. If stimulation decreases at the right time, release follows quickly. In those conditions, sleep onset can feel effortless. However, if stimulation remains present, the same system may take longer to fall asleep than expected. Alertness lingers. Processing continues. The body is tired. The nervous system is not finished. This explains why some introverted individuals fall asleep quickly on quiet nights, but struggle on stimulating ones. Sleep speed depends less on personality and more on environment alignment. Another factor is pre-sleep mental activity. Introverted systems often engage in internal processing. Reflection, integration, and replay can occur as stimulation fades. This internal activity does not necessarily prevent sleep. In some cases, it supports it. When reflection unfolds in a low-demand environment, neural rhythms slow naturally. Thought becomes less structured. Images drift. This transition aligns with sleep onset. But when internal, processing remains goal-oriented or evaluative, it can delay rest. The mind stays active even in stillness. This distinction matters. It is not thinking that delays sleep. It is vigilance. Research using electroencephalography shows that sleep onset occurs when fast, alert rhythms give way to slower, synchronized activity. This shift requires the nervous system to release monitoring. If the system is still checking, timing is delayed. Introverted systems may be more sensitive to whether monitoring is complete. They require stronger confirmation that nothing else is required. When that confirmation arrives, sleep can begin rapidly. Another variable is evening routine. Individuals who rely on predictable wind-down patterns often fall asleep faster, regardless of personality. Routine reduces uncertainty. Uncertainty sustains alertness. Many introverted individuals naturally gravitate toward quieter, more predictable evenings, not by design, but by comfort. This alignment supports faster sleep onset. However, this is not universal. An introverted system placed in a stimulating environment will not fall asleep quickly simply because of personality. Biology responds to input, not labels. Studies that rely on self-report also complicate the picture. Perception of sleep onset does not always match physiological markers. Some people feel awake longer than they actually are. Others fall asleep without noticing the transition. Introverted individuals may be more aware of internal states, including the moment sleep begins. This awareness can influence reporting. Objective measures, such as polysomnography, often show smaller differences than subjective reports suggest. This reinforces a key point. Introversion does not guarantee faster sleep. It shapes sensitivity to conditions that allow sleep. When those conditions are present, sleep may arrive quickly. When they are not, sleep waits patiently. The body does not rush. It waits for readiness. Understanding this removes pressure from the question entirely. Sleep speed is not a performance metric. It is a response. Some nights offer alignment. Others require more space. The nervous system always knows how to sleep. It simply needs permission to stop watching. When stimulation fades, when routines settle, when monitoring releases, then, without effort, sleep arrives. Not because of who someone is, but because the system has finally been allowed to let go. Sleep is often measured in hours, but rest is not counted only by time. Two people can spend the same number of hours in bed and wake feeling very different. One feels restored. The other feels heavy and unfinished. This difference comes from sleep depth. Sleep unfolds in stages: light sleep, deeper non-REM sleep, and REM sleep each serve distinct functions. Of these stages, deep non-REM sleep plays a central role in physical recovery and nervous system restoration. During deep sleep, brain activity slows dramatically. Large, synchronized waves dominate neural firing. Muscle tone reduces further. Heart rate and breathing become steady. This stage supports tissue repair, immune function, and metabolic recovery. It also supports the nervous system's ability to reset. Sleep duration tells us how long someone slept. Sleep depth tells us how well the system disengaged. Depth depends on how fully alertness was released before sleep began. If the nervous system enters sleep while still partially vigilant, deep sleep is fragmented. The body rests lightly. Recovery is incomplete. For individuals whose systems process stimulation deeply, this distinction becomes especially important. A sensitive system may accumulate significant sleep pressure by evening, fatigue is present. But if stimulation remains high or vigilance persists, sleep begins at a shallower level. Time passes, but depth is limited. This can create the experience of sleeping long hours without feeling restored. Research shows that elevated evening arousal reduces slow-wave sleep. Cortisol, when present at night, interferes with the brain's ability to enter its deepest rhythms. Even small elevations can have an effect. Depth requires surrender. The nervous system must fully recognize that no response is needed. No monitoring, no preparation. This recognition allows the cortex to synchronize and slow. Introverted systems may have an advantage here under the right conditions. When stimulation is reduced and vigilance is allowed to dissolve, depth can be profound. The system does not resist slowing. It welcomes it. Quiet environments support this transition. Predictable routines reinforce it. Solitude allows internal processes to complete without interruption. Under these conditions, sleep depth increases even if total sleep time remains moderate. However, this advantage is conditional. If stimulation continues late into the evening, depth is compromised. The system enters sleep partially engaged. This is why environment matters more than identity. Sleep depth does not respond to labels. It responds to conditions. Research using electroencephalography has shown that deeper sleep is associated with increased slow-wave activity and reduced microarousals. These patterns emerge when the nervous system has fully downshifted. They are less dependent on how long someone sleeps and more dependent on how they arrive there. This reframes the question of better sleep entirely. It is not about sleeping longer. It is about sleeping deeper. Introverted systems may be more sensitive to the factors that support depth. Light, sound, and social input have stronger effects. When these are managed well, depth improves. When they are not, duration increases without benefit. This explains why some people feel better after a shorter, quieter night than after a long, restless one. The body values quality over quantity. Sleep depth also influences memory consolidation and emotional regulation. Deep sleep supports the clearing of emotional residue from the day. It stabilizes mood and improves resilience. Without sufficient depth, the nervous system carries remnants of vigilance into the next day. This creates a cycle. Shallow sleep leads to heightened sensitivity. Heightened sensitivity increases daytime load. Evening downshifting becomes harder. Depth breaks this cycle. It restores balance. Understanding the difference between sleep depth and duration removes pressure from bedtime goals. More hours are not always the answer. Sometimes fewer signals are. When the nervous system is allowed to release fully, depth follows naturally. Time becomes secondary. The body enters the kind of sleep that restores not just energy, but regulation. And in that depth, the system truly rests. As the body releases wakefulness, attention turns inward. The senses quiet, external demands fade. What remains is internal activity. Even in sleep, the brain continues to work. It organizes memory. It integrates experience. It processes emotion. This internal processing becomes most visible through dreams. Dreaming occurs primarily during REM sleep. though elements can appear in other stages. During REM, the brain is highly active, even as the body remains still. Muscle tone is suppressed. External responsiveness is minimal. Inside the brain, activity shifts from sensory intake to internal simulation. Visual imagery is generated without input from the eyes. Sound is constructed without sound waves. Scenes unfold without movement. The brain creates experience from memory. Research has shown that REM sleep is involved in emotional processing and memory consolidation. Experiences from waking life are reactivated, reorganized, and softened. Emotional intensity is reduced. Meaning is extracted. This process supports psychological balance. Individuals differ in how vividly they experience this internal activity. Some report frequent, detailed dreams. Others recall little or nothing. Dream recall is influenced by several factors: sleep stage at waking, sensitivity to internal cues, attention to internal states. Introverted systems often show a greater orientation toward internal experience. This does not mean more dreams occur. It means they may be noticed more easily. The brain produces dreams regardless of personality. Awareness differs. Studies suggest that individuals with inward-focused attention may recall dreams more frequently. Their mind remains attuned to internal imagery. Transitions between sleep and wakefulness are observed rather than pass through unnoticed. This awareness does not disrupt sleep. In many cases, it reflects smooth transitions between states. Internal processing also extends beyond dreams. During sleep, the default mode, network, becomes active. This network is involved in self-referential thought, memory integration, and internal narrative. Its activity supports the brain's ability to make sense of experience. For systems that process information deeply during waking hours, this nighttime integration is essential. Sleep provides the time needed to complete unfinished processing. Thoughts that were not resolved during the day are softened. Emotional signals are recalibrated. The nervous system releases accumulated tension. Dreams are one expression of this release. They are not messages to decode. They are evidence of processing underway. Importantly, dream activity does not indicate lighter sleep. REM sleep is a necessary and restorative stage. Depth and dreaming coexist. For some individuals, increased dream recall is associated with good sleep continuity. They wake briefly from REM and remember imagery before returning to sleep. This pattern is common in sensitive nervous systems. Boundary between internal and external awareness is thinner. Transitions are noticed. This does not mean sleep is fragmented. It means awareness persists gently at the edges. Understanding this reframes dream activity entirely. Vivid dreams are not a sign of restlessness. They are a sign of engagement with internal processing. Sleep is not empty. It is active in a different direction. For individuals whose systems rely on internal regulation, this activity supports emotional balance. When sleep is sufficient, dreams often become less intense over time. Processing completes. The system settles. When sleep is disrupted or overstimulated, dream activity may increase. The brain attempts to resolve unfinished input. This again highlights the role of environment. Reduced stimulation supports smoother processing. The brain completes its work without urgency. Dreams soften. Transitions become quieter. Understanding internal processing removes concern about nighttime imagery. It allows the listener to rest without interpretation. Nothing is wrong. The brain is simply doing what it does best when given the chance. It is sorting. It is integrating. It is releasing. As the night continues, internal activity gradually quiets. Dreams fade. Depth increases. The system completes its work, and by morning, the body emerges lighter, having carried less forward. Sleep has done its quiet job, not by stopping the brain, but by turning it inward, where restoration begins. Stress is often imagined as an emotion, but in the body, stress is chemistry. It is a coordinated release of hormones designed to support response. Attention sharpens. Energy becomes available. The system prepares to act. This response is essential during the day. At night, it must resolve. The primary hormone involved is cortisol. Cortisol follows a daily rhythm. It rises in the morning to support wakefulness and gradually declines toward evening. When this decline happens smoothly, sleep arrives with ease. When cortisol remains elevated, recovery is delayed. Cortisol does not rise only in moments of crisis. It increases in response to stimulation, uncertainty, and sustained demand. Mental effort raises it. Sensory overload raises it. Social engagement raises it. This does not require distress. A calm day can still be hormonally activating if the nervous system remains engaged for long periods. For systems that process stimulation deeply, cortisol may remain elevated longer into the evening. Not because stress is higher, but because regulation takes longer. The body is still completing its work. High evening cortisol interferes with sleep in several ways. It delays melatonin release. It increases heart rate. It maintains muscle tone. The body stays ready. Nighttime recovery requires the opposite chemistry. Parasympathetic dominance allows cortisol to fall. Growth hormone increases. Repair processes begin. This shift depends on signals of safety. Quiet environments support this shift. Predictable routines reinforce it. Reduced stimulation confirms that response is no longer required. When these signals are absent, cortisol lingers. Research shows that individuals exposed to late evening stimulation have higher nighttime cortisol levels and reduced slow-wave sleep. Even small differences matter. Deep sleep is particularly sensitive to stress chemistry. During deep sleep, cortisol reaches its lowest levels. This allows tissue repair and immune regulation to occur. If cortisol remains elevated, deep sleep is shortened or fragmented. For individuals with sensitive nervous systems, this effect can be pronounced. Their bodies may require more time and fewer signals to fully downshift. This does not reflect fragility. It reflects responsiveness. Stress chemistry is not harmful when it resolves. Problems arise when resolution is delayed. Sleep provides that resolution when conditions allow. Nighttime recovery is not passive. It is an active biological process. Waste products are cleared from the brain. Inflammatory markers decrease. neural connections reorganize. These processes depend on a calm internal environment. Stress chemistry must soften. Understanding this reframes nighttime rest. Difficulty sleeping does not mean the body is broken. It means chemistry is still active. The solution is not force, it is support. Reducing stimulation allows cortisol to fall naturally. Breathing slows. Heart rate variability increases. The nervous system recognizes safety. As this recognition spreads, recovery accelerates. Hormones realign. Repair deepens. Sleep becomes effective rather than merely present. Stress chemistry also influences how one wakes. When cortisol declines appropriately overnight, the morning rise feels natural. Alertness returns gently. When cortisol remains elevated overnight, mornings feel heavy. Recovery feels incomplete. This cycle reinforces itself. Poor recovery increases daytime sensitivity. Increased sensitivity raises evening stress chemistry. Sleep becomes lighter. Breaking the cycle begins with downshifting. Evening quiet, solitude, and routine create the conditions needed for chemistry to resolve. The body knows how to recover. It simply needs time without demand. As the night progresses, stress hormones continue their slow descent. Signals of urgency fade. Repair takes precedence. The system returns to balance. And in that balance, sleep fulfills its true purpose, not just to rest the body, but to reset the chemistry that allows life to feel manageable again. It can be tempting to look for a single explanation, a single trait, a single reason sleep feels easier for some and harder for others. But the body does not work that way. Personality influences sleep, but it does not determine it. Sleep emerges from many interacting systems: biology, environment, habit, timing, health, stress load. Each variable contributes quietly. Personality shapes how stimulation is processed and how quickly the nervous system becomes saturated. It affects sensitivity to sound, light, and social input. It influences how much quiet is needed for downshifting. But it is only one layer. Two people with similar personality traits can sleep very differently, depending on their environment. One may live in predictable, low stimulation conditions. Another may be exposed to constant noise and irregular schedules. The body responds accordingly. Sleep research consistently shows that environmental factors often outweigh personality traits. Light exposure, bedtime, regularity, and evening activity patterns have strong effects across all types. Health also plays a role. Hormonal balance, inflammation, pain levels, digestive comfort. These factors influence sleep depth and continuity regardless of personality. Stress history matters as well. Long-term stress changes how the nervous system responds to stimulation. Systems become more vigilant. Downshifting takes longer. This can affect introverted and extroverted systems alike. Timing matters too. Chronotype influences when the body is ready to rest. A schedule that aligns with internal rhythms supports sleep. A misaligned schedule disrupts it. Personality does not override circadian timing. Habit is another powerful factor. Repeated behaviors shape expectation. the nervous system learns what to anticipate. Even individuals who process stimulation deeply can sleep well with supportive routines. Even those who thrive on stimulation can struggle without structure. Sleep adapts to patterns. This complexity explains why simple labels rarely predict sleep quality. Introversion may correlate with certain sleep tendencies. Extroversion may correlate with others. But correlation is not control. Sleep responds to what the body receives, not how it is labeled. Understanding this removes pressure from identity. There is no right way to sleep for a personality type. There is only the way that works for a particular system. This perspective also prevents oversimplification. Poor sleep is not a personal flaw. Good sleep is not a personality advantage. They are outcomes of alignment. When stimulation, timing, and environment support downshifting, sleep improves. When they conflict, sleep struggles. This is true for everyone. Personality can guide awareness. It can highlight sensitivity or tolerance, but it does not dictate fate. Sleep remains flexible throughout life. Changes in routine, environment, and stress load can improve sleep at any age. The nervous system adapts when conditions change. This adaptability is reassuring. It means sleep is not fixed. Understanding personality as one variable among many empowers choice without blame. It allows adjustments without judgment. If quiet helps, it is not weakness. If stimulation helps, it is not avoidance. Both reflect biology responding to context. As the night continues, the body does not ask who you are. It asks whether it is safe to rest. When the answer is yes, sleep arrives. Personality may influence how that yes is achieved, but it does not decide whether rest is possible. That decision belongs to the nervous system, and the nervous system listens to signals, not labels. As those signals soften, alignment returns. Sleep follows, not because of who you are, but because the body has been allowed to do what it already knows how to do. It is tempting to frame sleep as a contrast between types. Introverts rest this way, extroverts rest another. But this comparison hides an important truth. Extroverted nervous systems are not less capable of deep, restorative sleep. They are simply tuned to engage with the world differently. In personality research, extroversion is often associated with lower baseline cortical arousal. These systems seek stimulation to reach an optimal level of alertness. Conversation, movement, novelty, and sound help raise engagement to a comfortable range. During the day, this alignment supports energy and connection. Interaction feels stabilizing rather than draining. Attention is sustained through engagement, but sleep does not respond to stimulation preference. It responds to resolution. Even stimulation-seeking systems must eventually disengage. Extroverted individuals tend to sleep well when engagement is allowed to complete naturally. When stimulation ends clearly, the nervous system releases quickly. There is little residual monitoring. This is an important distinction. Sensitive systems often struggle because stimulation overwhelms them. Extroverted systems struggle when stimulation does not stop. The challenge is not overload. It is momentum. Social interaction feels rewarding. Novelty continues to activate dopamine pathways. The nervous system remains oriented outward because nothing signals closure. As long as engagement continues, biological night is delayed. Cortisol remains elevated. Melatonin release is postponed. Core body temperature stays higher. The body is still prepared. However, once stimulation clearly tapers, extroverted systems often disengage efficiently. Alertness drops quickly. Sleep onset can be rapid. Research supports this pattern. Studies examining personality and sleep architecture show that extroverted individuals are fully capable of achieving deep, slow-wave sleep and healthy REM cycles when circadian timing and environmental cues align. There is no inherent disadvantage in sleep depth or recovery. In fact, extroverted systems often experience very consolidated sleep once rest begins. What matters most is the transition. Abrupt endings can feel jarring, but gradual tapering works well. Conversation winding down, lights dimming slowly, activity shifting from dynamic to predictable. These signals allow the nervous system to recognize that engagement has concluded. Routine helps here. Clear boundaries between stimulation and rest support extroverted systems just as strongly as they support sensitive ones. The difference lies in timing and clarity. Introverted systems often need earlier reductions in input. Extroverted systems benefit from clearly marked endings. Both paths lead to the same outcome. Sleep quality does not depend on personality. It depends on whether the nervous system has received permission to stop responding. Extroverted individuals often sleep poorly, not because they are too active, but because activity extends too close to bedtime. The system has not been given time to turn inward. When that time is allowed, rest arrives naturally. This reframes the entire question. Extroverts do not sleep worse. They sleep later when engagement remains open. When engagement closes, sleep depth is comparable to any other system. Understanding this removes unnecessary comparison. Sleep is not an introverted advantage. It is a biological response to completion. As the night deepens, extroverted systems gradually release outward focus. Attention turns inward. Processing simplifies. When the nervous system recognizes that nothing more is required, alertness dissolves. Sleep arrives as the natural conclusion of engagement, not because of restraint, not because of discipline, but because the system has finished what it came to do. And when resolution is reached, rest follows, fully, deeply, and without effort. Across decades of sleep research, certain findings appear again and again. They emerge in laboratory studies, long-term population data, and clinical observation. They remain consistent across age, personality, and lifestyle. Good sleep follows patterns, not perfect habits, not rigid rules, but reliable biological conditions. One of the strongest predictors of sleep quality is light exposure. Bright light in the morning supports circadian alignment. Dim light in the evening allows melatonin to rise naturally. This rhythm matters more than total darkness or exact timing. The body looks for contrast. Another consistent factor is regularity. Sleep improves when wake and sleep times are stable. The nervous system learns what to expect. hormonal signals synchronize more precisely. Irregular schedules disrupt this coordination. Research shows that variability in sleep timing is associated with lighter sleep, increased awakenings, and reduced restorative stages. Consistency supports. Stimulation reduction is another core finding. Sleep does not require inactivity all day. It requires a gradual reduction in demand before night. Studies consistently show that late evening stimulation delays sleep onset and reduces slow-wave sleep. This includes bright screens, loud environments, intense conversation, and unpredictable activity. The nervous system responds to relevance, not intention. Quiet environments support downshifting across all personality types. Predictability reduces vigilance. Stillness allows alerting systems to disengage. Another key factor is perceived safety. The nervous system does not rest when it senses uncertainty. This does not require danger. It requires unpredictability. Sleep improves when the environment feels familiar and controllable. Known sounds, expected routines, consistent spaces. This is why people often sleep better in familiar environments, even if they are not objectively quieter. Stress chemistry resolution is also essential. Evening cortisol levels strongly influence sleep depth. When cortisol declines appropriately, deep sleep increases. When it remains elevated, sleep becomes fragmented. Reducing stimulation, practicing routine, and allowing quiet all support this hormonal shift. Importantly, personality does not override these mechanisms. Introverted systems may reach sensitivity thresholds sooner. Extroverted systems may sustain engagement longer, but the same biological rules apply. Sleep emerges when alertness is no longer needed. Research consistently shows that sleep quality improves when individuals align behavior with their nervous system's needs, rather than with idealized schedules. There is no universal bedtime, no optimal routine that fits everyone. What matters is alignment. When timing, environment, and stimulation support downshifting, sleep follows. This consistency across studies is reassuring. It means sleep difficulties are not mysterious. They are responses to conditions. Change the conditions and sleep often improves. This perspective removes blame. Poor sleep is not a personal failing. Good sleep is not a moral achievement. They are biological outcomes. Science does not suggest that introverts inherently sleep better. It suggests that individuals whose environments naturally reduce stimulation may find it easier to meet sleep conditions. When extroverted individuals create the same conditions, they experience the same benefits. Sleep does not favor identity. It favors readiness. As the night unfolds, the nervous system listens closely. It monitors light. It senses sound. It evaluates demand. When those signals soften, biology takes over. Alertness releases. Repair begins. This process is not fragile. It is resilient. The body wants to sleep. It always has. Science simply shows us the pathways that allow it to do so naturally. And when those pathways are respected, rest becomes less effortful and more inevitable. Sleep arrives not as something earned, but as something allowed. So do introverts sleep better? Science does not give a simple yes or no. And perhaps that is the most calming answer of all. Sleep is not a reward for being a certain way. It is not granted based on personality, preference, or identity. Sleep arrives when the nervous system feels finished. Throughout this journey, we've seen that introversion and extroversion describe how energy is processed, not how rest is earned. Some systems reach saturation earlier, others sustain engagement longer, but every system follows the same biological rules. Sleep begins when stimulation fades, when alertness is no longer required, when the body recognizes that nothing more is being asked of it. For some, this happens easily in quiet. For others, it happens after connection has run its course. Neither path is better. Both are valid. What matters is alignment. When the environment supports downshifting, sleep unfolds naturally. Light softens. Sound settles. The nervous system releases its grip. There is no need to force rest. There is no need to correct yourself. The body already knows how to sleep. It waits patiently for permission. If there is one gentle takeaway to carry forward, it is this. Sleep improves when we listen to what our systems ask for, rather than what we think they should want. Quiet is not avoidance. Connection is not excess. They are tools the nervous system uses to reach balance. Tonight, you do not need to change who you are. You do not need to optimize your routine. You do not need to solve anything. You only need to let stimulation fade in whatever way feels natural to you. As the night continues, the world becomes simpler. Fewer sounds arrive. Fewer signals demand response. Your body notices. Alertness loosens. Breathing deepens. The mind drifts gently inward. Sleep does not rush in. It arrives softly when everything else has quieted enough. And when it does, it carries no labels with it, only rest. Thank you for spending this quiet time here. Wherever you are listening from, may your night be gentle and your rest come easily.